Me again, back for a second video today.
Yeah.
Um, so I got through the first video. I just went to visit my wife. Took the bike, which was exciting. Again, I like riding my bike most of the time. Sometimes it's too hard, but so I was talking to my wife about doing this. That's one of the things. If you're a veteran and you have this problem with PTSD, that's one of those things we don't really do very well is communicate. We just do. And that can get us in trouble, especially in the field I was in. Uh, so I did have an issue that I was trying to tell my wife. I don't think it's a good idea for me to record all of everything I do, like cleaning, watching a movie, playing games, or something while I'm through the day. Like I can record myself talking. I'll sit here and talk to you guys. Hopefully, get a bunch of people in here that I can help and that you can help me. Keep that accountability. Uh, but I'm also going to try VR. I actually have a Oculus Quest 2, which you can see right here. I love this thing. This thing's amazing. Um, I went to Cincinnati, like I was saying in my first video. I went to Cincinnati, and this was my game. This was my movies. This was everything for me when I was in my room. I even got a couple of the veterans in the program to get one, and they loved it too. Um, if you're a veteran, hey, I highly suggest getting one of those. They have online support stuff in their games that are supporting. They have a bunch of relaxation games. Talk about mind. Uh, oh, what the heck do they call that? I'll get my words down sometime. I mean, I really am kind of out there right now. But anyway, I'm spacing, talking all over the place. Um, nerves suck. But it's weird. I'd get behind a gun and go into a room full of tangos or things. But no, I'm gonna say that. That's racist. Delete that. But yeah, I go to a room with those and not hesitate and sitting here talking on camera and get all flustered and hesitate. Yeah, it's retarded. But so um, like I was saying, I was Oculus Quest 2 is amazing. It's got your mind something that I said. My wife hates when I say thing. I gotta stop get that word out of my vocabulary. It comes to um, what is it? Mindfulness. Okay, mindfulness. Yes, there's a lot of mindfulness games on there that you can go and either go out in space, go out in the forest, whatever you want to do. They have surviving games that are just so awesome. You can go out onto the actually go out onto the into the forest, and it's man, it's just it's pretty cool. It's awesome. Um, you can talk to people, communicate with people. There's a lot of good stuff on it. It's not just for games. It's actually, a whole metaverse. So it's which is becoming huge, I guess. So I wanted to talk about um, what this is to me. This is um, and if I type slow or answer slow, it excuse me. I will try to answer the texts or answer the question on the text as you're writing it. But I don't want to stop and cut off the conversation that I'm having or a topic unless something good hits. I'll do it right then, but I'll try to get to everybody's. Um, Gosh, there's a lot of popping up and started. But anyway, so this is an accountability log. Um, this is what I call uh, VALB. Um, Veterans Accountability Log. Why did I? To Veterans accountability log to beat PTSD. There you go. So what it what I want it to be, I had this idea when I was in Cincinnati. Like I said, the CPT program for 2 times. Coffee's another thing. Coffee's a good thing. Not a big mustache on my lip, but so I was in Cincinnati, and I had this idea because, like I was saying in my first video, I've had our first video. It's live stream, not a video. Got to get that right. This is I'm not sitting there editing this. I'm not going through and erasing stuff. So if you want to come on live and you want to chat something down and you want to get it up, go right ahead. I do hope that you will subscribe and like. That way I can keep going up and get this YouTube algorithm going so I can reach out to more and more veterans. Which, anyway, keep running off topic. So I was in Cincinnati 2 times. And the first time I went through, it was extremely difficult. They had you in class from way early in the morning until in the afternoon, and it had a lot of amazing facts, amazing. It was just an all-around amazing program. I mean, I think President Obama actually presented a reward for the program to the leader, the head person of the program over there. And it was the #1 in the country for a while, but then COVID hit and COVID kind of sucked everything. But they're back up and running, and supposedly, as far as I know, they're doing amazing. So they help. I didn't believe it. I went through EMDR. It helped a bit. Certain things. That's what gets me. Is certain things helped me. The big thing is for years I didn't want to I didn't want to go to VA. I didn't want to go because I didn't believe what I went through. I don't believe that I had a spot there, or I didn't want to waste people's money or try to get anything like that or take advantage of something that I don't believe I deserved. I met my wife, my second wife. My first wife was awful, but that's another story. We'll get into that maybe, I don't know, sometime down the road, how horrible that was. And that just built on everything I was going through while I was in the military. So I met my wife now when I was going to college. I went to college because I tried to get out of my rut that I was in. This is, and with PTSD, you'll start to realize that there's a pattern to your ups and downs. So you'll write and it's going to go like this. You'll have your ups and downs going all the way across. Now, mine were going this way. So in the stock market, they would call this a bearish bar instead of a bullish. You want to be going bullish. You're recovering. The higher highs the higher lows and higher highs. Instead, I was doing the lower lows and lower highs. So it's the bearish. So I was way, way, way down to a flat line. I've been through some bad times, including, guns, ropes, just all kinds of ways to do certain things. And my buddy, he got me out of it. I went to stay with my parents when I got back from New Zealand, which is where I used to live when I got out of the military. And I tried to get help. It didn't work. It didn't work. So I decided that I was going to change my life and I was going to get out of my rut. I was going to use my VA abilities, my school, my not voc rehab, my GI Bill that I paid for when I was in. It's way back in the day. I'm too old. But I went to school, and I went to stay with a couple guys that were at the school already, um, due to the fact that they were roommates there. I didn't want to go in and wait to go to the dormitories. Plus, I was old, like 26, 27 years old. I didn't want to go to the dorms, um, especially not at this place. This place was a for-profit school, Collins College, which is now closed down. It's all BS. Oh man, it's bad. So I was going to stay with these two guys that I had talked to. He was on the student council, and that's how they got the word that I talked to him, and then I stayed with him. I was gonna stay with him for like a week, until the school started, not school started, but the first orientation came about, and I would go into the dormitories or the dormitories, but it was really just all it was is a apartment complex somewhere. So it turns out I get there. My parents are driving me up. I'm 26 at the time, 26, and my parents are driving me from New Mexico to Arizona so I can go to school. And I was going for game development. Um, I love games. I played games all the time when I was a kid. So we get there, and as we're pulling in, there is this stunning, gorgeous, amazing woman sitting down on the curb talking to a guy, and she was wearing these jean shorts and this, oh man, this amazing shirt that everything on her body just fit. Like she was gorgeous. Um, and I pulled in. Uh, I was to Robbie. Um, Robbie was the guy that was working. I think he was working on his car at the time. I was too focused on my wife. But so I started talking to him, and then I was introduced to her, and the rest is history. Stayed up talking to her for like all night, and we started dating. But this is PTSD sucks. It really sucks. And I was going through a rough time, so I was really good at hiding uh, what was going on with me. I was good covering it up. No one knew that kind of stuff, except for my parents, and my buddy, uh, my spotter. But anyway, he was I was going through stuff, and it was hard. Um, but anyway, I got to talking to her, and then it got to the point where I was just falling in love with her. I mean, and literally, man, talk about those what are those songs? Those gushy, mushy songs of love at first sight and all that. Here in the books and the movies and stuff. But man, that was love at first sight. I loved her. She was amazing, especially after talking to her, and I kind of used some interrogation methods, let's put it that way, in messing with her mind to get her to roll over and date me. So I know it's horrible. Afterwards, it's bad. I shouldn't have done that, because now even though some of the stuff that I was saying while I was doing that to her, she's held on to in the back of her head, and it stays with her. But I got to, man, I really felt hard. Like, she was the first person in my life that, wow, was just, I don't know, she just blew me away. She really hit my heart, and the thing of it was, I felt like I wasn't being me because of the crap that I had inside, and these thoughts, and all this other stuff going on that I was hiding, and I didn't want to let her in because I was afraid that she would just be like, "Yeah, you're crazy, or you're nuts." No, it's not happening. Um, that she would have just left, and I was stupid for that. Very dumb and stupid. And so it came about that I flew her out to her home, and I man, I went to drinking hard, um, very bad again. Um, at one point overseas, when I was in New Zealand, I was actually drinking 3 and 4 fifths of Jack Daniels a day. It was insane. Uh, but I got there, and I when I basically ghosted her, it was horrible. I was stupid. I wasn't thinking straight. I was thinking with my head, not my heart. I was thinking about with my PTSD, and I don't want people to think or understand or think that I am placating my PTSD and blaming it. Um, and that's not the message. It's the thing of it is I'm trying to do this is truthful. And I hate lies. I hate people that are full of shit. Excuse my language. Gosh darn it. I gotta stop cussing. I'm getting really into what I'm doing. So anyway, I hate liars. I hate lies. I hate people that are full of crap, that make up these stories, that try to say stuff to fit in or try to make themselves look bigger. I can't stand that. So I'm very, very truthful in everything I say and do. And I hope that that message gets out there, that I get to be known that I am truthful. I don't lie. I hate liars. And if you're going to come in here and lie to me, then you might as well just hit the road. I don't want to deal with you anyway. So, anyway, I get to that point, and I'm battling with my inside. And like I said, I let my head and my nerves and my PTSD get the best of me, which, it happens. But this time it happened really bad and horrible. And I think I basically drove away the one person that I actually found that I loved and could do or say anything. Um, I didn't trust myself with dealing with what I have inside. I didn't trust her in a way. It was very horrible that I made that choice for her when it wasn't mine to make. Um, but I, like I said, I went to alcohol really bad, got way down, but something happened, and I'm not sure what it was. I just know that it dawned on me. I I I almost died drinking myself and had to be resuscitated. But I don't know if that was it or if it was my own reaction afterwards to it. And it changed. It changed me. It made something click inside my head that I had the best thing in the world for me right there in front of me, and I did something stupid like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call her up. I'm going to get sober. I'm going to get back into school good because I was missing days of school. I was in this persona, and I hated being, I hated putting on this thing of, not thing, I gotta stop saying that word. I got tired of putting on an act and hiding my true stuff that I was struggling with. I called her up, and lo and behold, I got to talking to her, and I asked her for a second chance. I asked her to come back. I told her I was screwed up and that I messed up big time and just wanted her in my life from then on out. And she was the amazing person she is, and she took me back, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Uh, so she came, I flew her back, and then we got to, we got married. We had our son, our first son, and about, I want to say, like, I went through a whole bunch of stuff. We moved around a lot. We went to Florida, and fireworks. You know how that goes. I entered into um, I entered into a lot of mental hospitals. I don't know if that's probably not the professional word for it, but I don't care. Just tell you like it is, mental hospital. And that didn't straighten me out. And I was yelling and man, I was arguing with her and taking man, I really took a lot out. And she stuck it in there. It was amazing. She stuck with me. And from that point, I have tried to be what I used to be before the military, and that's very hard to do with PTSD. And my wife has been there with me through it all, and it's been a rough road. It has, but it's been the most amazing road and the most amazing times in my life dealing with my kids. That I'm just so proud of them. I didn't realize that someone that messed up the way I am, could raise with my wife, and I think it has a lot to do with my wife. It's not really me, it's just her. But could raise such four amazing kids. I love my kids to death. They each have their quirks. Um, they each have some issues that they deal with, but that's something that they do deal with it. And they have such big hearts, just like my wife. My wife has this amazing heart. Um, and so it was really good. Anyway, so I've gotten way off topic again because my family, I love them. But anyway, so it came down to it that after I found this, I went through my wife. I'm sorry, my wife. Now I'm going back to where I was. Okay, got it back on track now. So with my wife and my mother decided to force me to go get help. Oh man, I hate VA. Or I hated the VA at the time. So I go into the VA and I go through all that, that process of trying to get help. I didn't want money. I just wanted help. And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get help. Uh, but it came back, hey, got certain things that are wrong with me, and they gave me 100% permanent and total. And I was like, holy crap, that was a huge turning point for me, because then now my money situation, my mind of raising this family and being that one, because I tried to go job after job. I've tried to make that money to support my family. While I was in school, it was okay. Hey, I had BAH coming in. But well, for those of you who don't know, well, you're veterans, you should know what the BAH is. But anyway, I had that while I was getting an E5 equivalent BAH with dependents while I was in school, and they were also paying for my school. So I was okay. I mean, I wasn't doing great, but I was okay. And but the school was a jerk, horrible. I went from game design. And I was like, okay, I can do game design. But then I started realizing, I was like, hey, you know what my true passion is? I'm gonna get into movies. So I switched from game development to film development, or film designer, or film director, I think, producer, director is what I was. So I started taking classes that, but I got into war cinema photography, and that was a class that I had to take and I had to pass. Uh, the teachers there were, man, I wanted to slap them around, but they didn't care. I told them my issues. I talked to them. I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna be upfront with you at the beginning of the class. I was like, look, I have PTSD. I've been through this and I've been through that. I can't deal with these pictures, or this class is gonna be hard. So please just bear with me. Give me some help. Um, and I told them I have my wife at home. She's gonna help me through it. But they were just jerks, and I couldn't do it. Uh, so I ended up leaving the school, which sucked because that was, like I said, that was my income. And now and I'm old fashioned. I was raised that, you're really supposed to be the man of the house, or I don't want to say man because I don't want to be this sexist. I'm not sexist, but you are supposed to support and to help the family and make sure that they have what they need. So it was very difficult, knowing that I wasn't doing that for them. Um, well, lo and behold, my wife and my mother did that. They made me go to the VA and said, "No, you're done with this. I've been through enough with you. You got to get help." Okay, I'll go get help, or I'll try. I'll try to go get help. But it came back 100% permanent total, and it was amazing. I got to be a stay-at-home dad. I got to take care of my family. My wife and I tried going back to school. Uh, things started going good. They started falling into place. Um, but then downers. I that whole upward. I had switched from that bear movement to parallel movement. So I had my ups and downs, but I was still straight. I wasn't going downward until something happened, and it was horrible. Um, Therapists and psychiatrists for the VA, 90% of them suck. I'm sorry, but it's that way. They suck. But there is a but there. I will tell you a but. Sometimes you can get a diamond in the rough. You can get a psychiatrist, or you can find that one psychiatrist that just doesn't want you on medicine, but will give you medicine to help, and doesn't want you dragging, going through life saying, I need more and more pills, that need to get you off medicine. They can motivate you to stay off medicine and only take these small amounts. And then you can find that therapist, and you can find that therapist that will motivate you even more to say, hey, I'm working with this great psychologist, and I need that mental state, that mental help along with it to get me even better. That's very, very, very seldom does that happen. I'll tell you. Hardly ever. That's like winning the lottery, I swear. Uh, so I started doing different programs. I went through a lot of them. Um, like I said, EMDR. Uh, what was that one that I was just talking about earlier? Likeness, like mind, or mindfulness, um, mindfulness, um, CBT. Um, I went through what do they call that? Gosh, that one where you write about your trauma over and over and over and over and over again. Exposure therapy. Uh, I've been through a bunch of programs. I mean, half of them I can't even remember because they just suck that bad. Uh, and group has always been hard for me due to the fact that I'm not good with speaking to people about my emotions or my feelings. Like I'm good. I was always good at speech, motivational talking, great things, but now it just sucks. I can't do that anymore. I don't have it anymore. Partly well, mostly because of my PTSD. But again, I don't want you thinking I'm just blaming that. And that's just the truth. That's the way it is. I gotta have my cup of coffee. I just started it. Um, it's good. But so it goes everything, and I finally got this one doctor. It's like Dr. Steinhauer. No, not Steinhauer. What was her name? I know it was just like that guy from um, the game I used to play, uh, Overwatch. What's his name? Steino. Stonehouse. Anyway, I can't remember his name. But anyway, she talked to me about these programs, about this program where you actually, it's like a residential program is what they call it, inpatient program. And I found about this one in Cincinnati. So I was like, you know what? I haven't been, since I met my wife, there hasn't been a day that I have been without her. Like I haven't been away from her for more than 24 hours. I haven't every day. So I've learned to rely on her, which is bad. I shouldn't be relying on her. It puts way too much pressure on her. But it's good in a way, I guess. Maybe not. But so I go to this program, which was very hard for me because it was like, I don't know, it was like 3 hour flight from where I was. I was in Florida and I'm going to Cincinnati, Ohio. Um, and this program was huge. I mean, you're talking about some of the best, like I was telling you about 90% of them all suck. Well, it's like they took those 10% when it comes to psychiatrists and therapists and they sent them to Cincinnati. That's what they did. They're all amazing over there, and it's crazy. But they also teach, so it's also class. You have your days, you have your classes, and then you have your days that's strictly one-on-ones with the therapist and the psychiatrist and the doctor and all that stuff. Well, I learned to open up to veterans. Um, it was good. It was amazing to actually have this motivation and this moment of clarity about being able to open up to veterans, um, because you go through it with a group and you really do get close knit and everything. Well, I came out of that and I was good. I'm telling you, it was almost like I was in the light at the end of the tunnel, and I was loving it. I mean, I got off my medicine completely. I wasn't taking medicine. Um, I was I was doing amazing. I loved it. I was loving life. I was feeling my emotions. I was letting my emotions play a big part of my life again, and it it was really good for the kids and my wife. Like they saw the huge difference. It was just like day and night, 180. It was where I was supposed to be, and that lasted okay until life hit me back really hard. Uh, so I get I get to my wife has what they call immune 2A, and there's a 50-50 chance that if you have it, that means your kids get it. So, and we're like a perfect thing to that. Like we have four kids, and two of them have it, and two of them don't. So it's definitely that perfect 50-50. They were right on the money when they said that. So the thing of it is my wife had the surgery. They have to go in and they do a total thyroidectomy. So they go in there and take out the thyroid. Uh, so because it will develop cancer in their life if they don't take it out. So they have to take it out. Well, my oldest daughter went through it. This time it was my youngest son. Okay, it was his time to go through it to get it taken out. Yeah, well, there's steps and procedures that you do to get to that step. Um, it's kind of like uh, you have rules of engagement. You have set things that you should be following before you go into the surgery. Well, this doctor didn't do any of that. He's like, I'm just good. And he's goes in there and in the middle of the surgery comes out and tells us like, oh, this thyroid is a different color than it's normally not supposed to be, and it's enlarged, and there's this other material that's like a attached to it and it's not supposed to be, and just a bunch of bullcrap. But anyway, the seizure was completely botched. He still has his thyroid. And not only that, but he took out that chunk of stuff that he was taking out was thymus. So now his immune system is really off the walls weird, and tetanus could kill him. It's it hurt. It hurt me really bad deep down because it's my son and it's a kid, and who doesn't do anything for their kid, you know? But so that took me down again. I went back to Cincinnati about a year later because I wanted to thinking it was going to be that good again, and it was. But I also didn't push myself the way I should have. I didn't. I don't know. I just wasn't mean, and turned out I screwed up again, and I losing my head and almost didn't come back home because I thought that I was killing my family and I was going to end up killing myself, and I didn't want to do it in front of my kids or my wife. Well, it got to me. But my wife, being the amazing person she is, again, she's so amazing and awesome. She's my rock and my stone. So I get home and I realize that she is this amazing, amazing woman. I was seeing things really out of whack. And, PTSD has this way of wiggling into your mind and making your judgment just go off the wall. There's no other way to explain it, you know? And, but anyway, like I said, my wife's this amazing, loving person. Well, when I got back from Cincinnati, and I was like, even in Cincinnati, I had this idea, this epiphany. Okay, yeah. Like some magical epiphany. It's like Roxanne. No. But anyway, I had this idea. And this idea was to write a book and take all of the stuff that helped me. Because I used to, okay, so this analogy, this thing that I came up with for this book was I used to love, like I said, I used to be motivational. I used to come up with new things to help. People could tell me a situation that they had or a problem that they were having. I was that person you could go talk to that would turn around and say, well, look, you could try this, you could try this, or hey, if there's something I can do, let me do it. I was that type of person, you know, um, and especially with kids. I loved working with kids. I was loved being coaches. I was a swim instructor. I was for baseball, soccer, football. I mean, I've coached a lot. I love it. Well, I was that person. I was that motivational person that set you right, that set going down the right path, and um, going to do things that if there was something out there that I could do, man, I would do it. I wouldn't hesitate. I mean, I got skydiving, I went scuba diving, um, caving. I did anything I could get my hands in. Um, so, and I used to love that about me. It used to motivate me even more. So with PTSD, it hindered that. It took me away. It drugged me down. Uh, so this book, I came up with this idea. I started to like I said, when I got back from the program the first time, I was flying high. I was like, awesome, this is amazing. Um, so I had that idea that of writing a book, but it wasn't until I went through it the second time, the beginning of the second time, that it actually started to come together and present itself in my mind to the way that I could put it something together and actually do it. And what I decided to do was take every little thing that I did through all the programs I've done. There is something that you can take away from it. there's something that you can hold on to that's good, that's amazing. And that's different for each person. I'm not saying that you can all, find the same thing through all of them. It's not like that. It's different for each person. But the issue with this, the thing with this, the idea of this is very, very contagious. So you go through each program, and I'm not telling you you have to go through each program, but I'm saying as I was going through each program, I would pick and choose what I decided to hold on to, and the rest of it, I wouldn't throw it away, but in a sense, I would put it in the back burner in case I ever needed it or ever needed to come up again. So at this time, I decided to put that into a program, into a belief, and write this book that any person with PTSD, and I'm talking about veterans, I'm talking about rape victims, I'm talking about shooting victims, I'm talking about anybody that's been through something traumatic that's caused them that mental disorder, that PTSD afterwards, that any one of those could pick this up, read through the book, and be able to be that person for themselves and self-help themselves, and it not be something that they can just, you know, throw away or come down off of easy. I wanted it to be something simple enough that you don't have to take the time to read all these books or go through all these classes or put all this information bound it into your head. No, I wanted it to be something that you could read through and go, aha, like an eye opener that head exploded, you know, drop the mic. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to be a foundation. Piaget, Freud, um, Eric Erickson, the three fathers of psychology, they all had a foundation. They created the foundation. And almost all psychology now is based off of that foundation. This is what I wanted it to be or to get to for people with PTSD. I wanted it to be that foundation, like that Cincinnati was for me. Um, but I wanted it to be not somewhere where you had to go in order to get that same relief. I wanted it to be something you can read or talk about with somebody and be able to learn that you can just do. So it's hard for me. I can't write. I try writing. I don't have this patience and this concentration that I used to have, and it sucked. So that's where I'm at today. And with you, I'm going to do this every day, Monday through Friday, unless my kids have off. Like this Friday, I won't be on because my kids have off. Yay. I won't be home alone. So I want that to be an accountability log and an idea kind of gathering log. I hope, and this is my all-time hope, like, the whole shebang, the oh my gosh, a million billion trillion dollar movie. Yes, this is the AAA blockbuster that I hit. That's what I want this to be. And to do that, I need you. I need you to subscribe. I need you to hit that like button. And then I need you to comment and give me your thoughts. That's the important part. I need your thoughts. I will talk. I will tell you my thought process and what I believe as I come up with it. Like it's going to change. It's going to change. But that's the glory of this. I want you guys to be a part of that. And in doing so, I will hold myself accountable to keep up with fighting my PTSD and keep on top of it. And I hope that I can do that same thing for you. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my gauge. That's my end goal. That somebody will come on here and say, hey, you're giving out all this knowledge. I can write. I can do all this. And you'll take that knowledge and put it in paper and on a book. And then maybe you'll come back and say, hey, James Sevick was the original idea of it or something. I don't know. Because I ramble, I forget things, I change things. I'm It's hard to hold on for me. It's hard to, unless I pound pound it in my body through, um, subconscious training, or can't get it done, I can't do it. So I'm hoping you will be the one that can help me do that. I hope you guys write. You can take my ideas, come in here and say, look, how about this? Or have you tried this? Or maybe we can do this, or maybe this will help. Or you can just talk about your experiences. It doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm here. And sometimes that's the only thing that you need to do or be, is just there. And I want to hold that accountable so this book or this program can be put into place. So I will tell you a little bit about my idea. It's literally the combat of fighting PTSD. Hold on. I actually have to look it up. It's been, gosh, it's been so long. Well, not long. I can't say that. It hasn't been long. It's just, my nerves are going. As you can tell, I've been talking so much. I've never talked this much unless I'm coaching. That's the only thing I do. So we get this. Okay, so it's called Combating PTSD, the Fighting Technique to Survive PTSD. Or survival. I'm sorry. Good gosh. Combating PTSD, the foundation for training PTSD, I can't read. I can't do anything. See, this is why I can't write a gosh darn book. This is why I have you guys. Yes. So it's combating PTSD, the fighting technique to survival after. Got it out of there. It was a mouthful, wasn't it? Yeah. So I am going to open up with this every day. I'm going to try to hit on a topic of this program. And like I said, it might change. It might be something different. Might just, I don't know. It might transpire into something crazy. I don't know. But it can be good, and it will be good. I have faith in you. Maybe not me, but you. You can hold me accountable, and I'm holding you accountable. So if you see this and you are a veteran and you want to help another veteran and helping me, or help me help a lot of veterans, just go ahead and give me a comment, give me a like and a subscribe. Start chatting to me in my live streams. I will be live streaming, like I said, every day, Monday through Friday. It will start at probably 8 o'clock or 8:30, depends. And I'm going to try to get on a set schedule. I do go to lunch. No, I don't go to lunch, but I ride my bike most of the time to see my wife for lunch on her lunch break. And so I think I leave at like 10:55. So probably like 8, 9, 10, probably for like 2.5 hours in the morning. And then when I get back, I'll get right back on like I did today, which will probably actually I kind of took a detour because I was on my bike and I just wanted to, yeah, I'm just joking. I wanted to stretch it out a bit, so I went the long way. Because I was thinking about this, and then what my wife said about you don't want to film everything. So no, I'm just going to sit here and talk, and maybe if I play a game or something, I will stream it. But my goal is to get you guys someone to talk to, someone to hold you accountable. VALB, okay? Veterans accountable. Um, oh, I'm just kidding. That was me. I had you guys looking around. Uh, so, um, good gosh, I'm all over the place. I tell you what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm just, I'm all over the place, aren't I? So let's see. VALB, Veterans Accountability Log to beat PTSD. Veterans V, Accountability A, Log L to beat B. So Veterans Accountability Log to beat. To beat what? PTSD. So this is where it begins. This is my first day, and like I said, Monday through Friday, I will be there. I leave to go pick up my kids at 2:10, so I'll be on as soon as I get back. Until that time, and I hope you guys join me. You come talk to me. If you, hey, here's another thing. If you have a better way for me to do this and get out to people, then we can talk about that too. And I'll try to set something up, or maybe you can set something up for me, or help me, or I don't know. Just let's get those veterans out there. And here's the thing: is I'm going to call or text my buddy Rick and a couple people from the program that I haven't talked to in a while because I fell off and was really horrible. Um, those guys were good; they were good guys. I just I, I lost it. I haven't been in touch, and I told them I would, and man, it's a horrible feeling. It really is. But I'm gonna get back up. You can bet it. I'm gonna get back up and get on it. Uh, we're gonna get people out, get them out there talking to veterans, bring them on in here so we can get all those ideas, write it down. We can get this program started, baby. Yeah. Okay. So remember, it's the combating PTSD, the fighting techniques, survival after. So the first thing that I want to do is say welcome and subscribe and like that thing so we can get this algorithm for YouTube all out there and get these veterans in here. And come visit me. Talk. Give me some ideas. Um, maybe you want to hear some music while we're talking. Maybe you want to go out and smoke a cigar while we're talking. I don't. Just kidding. I smoked for a long time, but I actually quit. That was for my wife. I actually for her and the babies. Um, so I guess this is kind of the end. No, I got 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Almost. Actually, no. I got almost. Well, let's make it over an hour. I got been going 54 hours. Holy crud! I've been jabbering on this video for 54 minutes. Man. Yeah, no one's gonna watch this. So the combating PTSD, the fighting techniques. The reason why I say it's fighting techniques is because I'm gonna actually, and I have it written down somewhere. I just didn't bring. just didn't put it in front of me because I don't know. I'm just not here. I was too anxious to get on this thing and start it. And then I just got to get some people. I got to get this out there to people. Um, but anyway, excuse me. Good gosh. Shouldn't be doing that on camera. So, PTSD. I created this thing, the punch, kick, and throw. When you're fighting, you punch, you kick, and you throw. Those are just the three starting ones. I'm eventually going to go to each thing that you do in a fight. And each letter of that word is going to stand for something. And you're going to take that word, whichever word, and here's the thing: is it's going to be every word is going to be different. Not only will that word be different for different people, but that word, there will be different words of fighting techniques to basically abbreviate, or they're going to stand for each letter. One of those poem lists or whatever, where you take the word, you write it down, and you write after the letter. So each one of those letters are going to start a sentence or start a word. I think it's a word. I actually had it written down. I think it was a word. But it will start a word, and each letter will have a word to it. And that's where you go punch, kick, throw. I don't know, maybe a kata, maybe stab, slit. But no. So each word will come with a definition. Each letter will be a different word. And the good thing about this is just like in a fight, or just like in fighting techniques, not everybody uses the same technique. Just like Bruce Lee, you must be like Watto, my friend, which I love Bruce Lee. He's awesome. Way of the intercepting fist. Best style. Except for Kalaga, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, so what this is, it's going to be each attack, if you will, or defense, or technique in the fight is going to be something that somebody can strive for. And it doesn't. You don't have to do all of them. That's the beauty of it. Is it's a fight, and in a fight, you don't do all of them all the time. You just don't. You'd be killed, dead. You'd be done. Try throwing the same punch all the time or the same kick. It doesn't work. So that's the idea of it. Each word is going to affect or be better for different people, depending on their situation, their feelings, their life, their whatever. It's going to be catered to them because only they will know which one works for them. And if they don't, guess what? They have all these people, you, me, all these people are going to help with this. They have all their experience. They have all their knowledge. They have the knowledge of all these programs that I went through. They have all of that there. So they can choose which one works for them or which one that doesn't. So if they try it and it doesn't work, well, guess what? They have that knowledge, but they can move on to the next one. And maybe that one will hit. And I firmly believe, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a veteran who's been through shit. And I'm trying to help other people get through shit. Excuse my language. Pardon my. God, I start cussing. I don't even cuss. I don't. It's you guys. You guys are doing it to me. I'm just kidding. That's horrible to say. So you go through stuff, and see, now I lost my train of thought. Man, see what I mean? This is why I can't write a book. I can probably read when I go through. Anyway, each word will be uniquely help each person. So I don't have to sit here and tell you, you need to punch, you need to kick, you need to throw. I, you don't sit here and do that. They can decide for themselves. We can teach them to punch, you teach them to kick. That's the technique. You teach technique, and they choose, or they rely on themselves to know what's going to help them the most. If they go through something and it's hard, well, guess what? It fails, it fails. You have the knowledge, you got that knowledge, you got that technique down, but you know that that's not your palate. So you go to something else, and that could be your palate. Um, See, now I'm going to come back to what I was going to say, but I forgot. If you guys don't get me off track, in coaching, and I firmly believe that there is a niche. Okay, and like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a veteran that's been through stuff, and I'm just telling you my point of view, my thoughts, my thought process, my belief. Um, there's a niche. So, and that's not just in coaching; it's in life, and that's why I've brought that niche to martial arts that I did, to sports that I did, to anything like that. I did that. I had that niche. I had to find that niche, and in coaching, I taught that there's a niche. And in order to receive that person has to be put, or what they have to go through what I like to call that moment. And you can go for years. People do. They go for years looking for their niche and they never find it. They never have that moment. And that moment, what I'm talking about is that moment of clarity, that moment that whatever it is that you're trying to do, like let's say martial arts, you're trying to learn to throw a punch. Um, there's a niche to throw in that punch that will make you the best you can be at throwing that punch. But in order to find that niche, you have to have moment, that moment of clarity where, and that could be from your sensei, it could be from your teacher, your kata, it could be from life, it could be from anything, your children, your parents, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be about punching. You can literally learn to find your niche, not even in the topic that you're looking in for the niche. It's that moment, that moment of clarity. And just like writer's block, writers get writer's block, and they don't find their way out of that writer's block by doing the same thing. They go find something else to do. They run, they go play games, they go talk about somebody else, they go outside to do something, they go do something else, and then that moment comes to them, that niche, that idea to come back to what they were doing, and just, oh yeah, there we go, and they get in that hole again, they get in that rhythm, find that second wind. That is what you're looking for, and I truly believe that that niche goes for everything in your life, in your marriage. I got to find that niche for my wife because she has given me my niche, and that's her. I love her. She's amazing. She's this wonderful person to me, and that's just it. And that's my niche. Is it just is. I accept it. That's my niche. For my kids, I have to learn them, their attitude, their how they act or react to something, and I have to find that moment that's okay. I get them. I get that niche. I try to find that niche for everything, and that's what I want this program to do is basically find that niche. to help people get over PTSD. Because just like that punch, if you can find that right answer, that moment of clarity where it just all comes together, that drive, the momentum, the snap behind the impact, the coming back, all that, the closing the fist, and all that just comes into play. It just aligns perfectly. In baseball, it's a pitcher. When all your mechanics, your leg kick, your momentum, your arm coming over or under, whichever way you do, in that release, that perfect moment where it just sinks in, it just goes, ah, that niche. It's about getting that niche, and it's about finding that moment. And in order to find that moment, you have to do a lot of stuff. A pitcher doesn't find a niche by sitting and doing nothing. He does stuff. He puts himself into certain things, certain places, certain times, certain momentums around certain people, so he can get all this different information. Just like on that fist, you can get all this different information from different people, how to do it, what to do, when to do it, all that different stuff. The more you are open to hearing and putting work into, or getting out there and doing something, the more exposure you have, the better chance you have of getting that niche, finding it, receiving that niche, getting that moment. And that's what I want this program to do for these people with PTSD. I want it to be a foundation where everybody that has PTSD can go to this book or come to these videos that we put together, training sessions. I don't care how we do it, but that all of our knowledge, and we put a foundation basic that can help those people with PTSD. That just like, I don't know, in pitching, you have to learn to throw the ball. In punching, you have to close your fist first. Psychology, Freud, Erik Erikson, Piaget, those are all fathers of psychology. Well, I want to create the fathers of PTSD. And that comes by putting us, me, you, the people that are going to help, putting all our knowledge together and coming up with this amazing, foolproof, fact plan that helps for PTSD. And the only way to do that is by having something that can be uniquely triggered for each person. And in doing that, that's what that punch, the kick, the throw, we can come up with these techniques for fighting PTSD. And all you have to do is just learn them yourselves. You have to just go through and say, well, that doesn't look like it's going to help. That works. That moment, that niche. That's what I want people to find, and I want to help them find it. So, again, my name's James Sevick. Let's start fighting this PTSD, and subscribe, like, pass it out to your veterans. I'll see you guys later. Let's get this done.